Many people wake up feeling like they are not enough. This feeling is a shadow that follows them through the day. It makes every simple task feel much harder than it should be. You might feel like you are walking through deep water while everyone else is running. This silent struggle is very common. You are not alone in this heavy feeling of doubt and uncertainty today. It is hard to see our own value when we compare our lives to others. Social media makes everyone else look perfect and successful. We see their best moments and compare them to our worst moments. This creates a false image of reality in our minds. We start to believe that we are the only ones struggling. This constant comparison is a thief of personal joy. This silent pressure creates a barrier in our minds. We stop trying new things because we are afraid of making mistakes. The fear of being judged by others feels like a heavy weight. It keeps us from reaching for the things we truly want in life. We stay quiet when we should speak. We stay small when we were meant to grow and move forward. Life becomes a series of missed opportunities when we do not believe in ourselves. We stay in our comfort zone because it feels safe, even if it feels empty. Over time, this comfort zone becomes a prison. We look at the horizon and wonder what could have been. The wall of self-doubt is high, but it is not impossible to climb if we start today. Pause for a moment and think about where you are right now. People from all over the world are listening to these words at this very second. We are all connected by our desire to improve and find peace. It is helpful to know that your location does not limit your potential. You can start your journey of change exactly where you are standing right now. Please share your location in the comments below. It is powerful to see how many of us share the same goals and dreams across different countries. Knowing that someone in a different part of the world feels the same way can be very comforting. We are a global community of people who want to be better. Your presence here is important and we value your voice. If you find these stories helpful, consider joining our community today. Subscribing helps us grow together and supports more content that focuses on real human experiences. We want to build a space where everyone feels encouraged to keep moving forward. Taking this small step connects you with others who are on a similar path. Together, we can find the strength to overcome our deepest fears. Every person has an inner voice that sometimes speaks much too loudly. This voice often points out our flaws instead of our strengths. It tells us that we are not smart enough or brave enough for the task. It is like a critic who sits in the back of our minds all day. This critic is very good at finding reasons why we should not try something new. It reminds us of past mistakes and warns us about future failures. Scientists call this voice the inner critic, and it can be very heavy to carry. It uses our own memories against us to keep us from taking risks. This voice is not your enemy, but it is often wrong. Learning to recognize this voice is the first step toward changing how you feel about yourself. Why does this voice exist in the first place? Thousands of years ago, fear helped humans stay alive in dangerous environments. The brain developed a system to look for threats and problems constantly. In the past, being rejected by the group meant you might not survive. This old part of the brain is still trying to protect you today, even when there is no real danger present. Today, we do not face many physical dangers in our daily lives. However, our brains still use fear to protect us from social rejection or embarrassment. The brain treats a mistake at work like a threat from a wild animal. This is why your heart beats fast when you have to speak or act. Understanding this biological history helps us realize that fear is just an old habit. The inner critic thinks it is helping you by keeping you small. It believes that if you do not try, you cannot fail or be hurt. It wants to keep you in the safety of the known world. But the known world is often too small for your big dreams. This protective instinct is actually stopping you from living a full and rich life. It is time to move past it. But this protection comes at a very high price for your spirit. It stops you from growing and discovering what you are truly capable of doing. When we listen to the critic, we give up our power to choose our own path. We become observers of our lives instead of the main characters. To grow, we must learn to hear the voice without following its negative and limited advice. Think about the times you wanted to speak up but stayed quiet. You had a great idea, but the voice told you it was silly or wrong. You watched as someone else shared a similar idea and received praise. That moment of regret is a sign from your true self. It is a reminder that you have value to add. Your silence does not help the world or yourself. This pattern of thinking creates a cycle of self-doubt over time. The more we listen to the critic, the stronger its voice becomes in our heads. It is like a muscle that grows when you use it. If we only practice doubt, we become experts at doubting ourselves. To break this cycle, we must start practicing a new way of thinking. It requires patience and daily attention. It is important to realize that thoughts are not always facts. Just because you feel incapable does not mean you actually are incapable. Feelings are like the weather. They change from hour to hour. A cloudy day does not mean the sun has disappeared forever. In the same way, a negative thought does not define your reality. You can acknowledge the thought without believing that it is the truth. Understanding this difference is the first step toward true mental freedom. You are not your thoughts. You are the one observing the thoughts. Imagine your thoughts are like cars passing by on a busy street. You can watch them pass without jumping into every car that goes by. This distance gives you the space to breathe and choose which thoughts are actually helpful to your growth and happiness. The pain of staying stuck is often worse than the pain of trying. Growth requires us to look at this discomfort directly and move through it. Many people spend their whole lives waiting for the fear to go away completely. But the fear rarely leaves until you take the first step. Acceptance of discomfort is a superpower. It allows you to act even when your mind is telling you to stop. We must learn to listen to a different kind of voice now. This new voice is quiet at first, but it is much more honest. It does not shout or use insults to get your attention. Instead, it speaks with a sense of calm and possibility. It reminds you of your past successes, no matter how small they were. This is the voice of your inner strength and your potential. It tells us that we have potential that is waiting to be used. The journey from doubt to belief begins with this simple realization. You have lived through difficult days before, and you are still here. This means you are resilient and capable of change. Act. One of your story was about the weight of doubt. Act 2 is where you learn to find your courage and act. Courage is often misunderstood by most people in the world. They think it means having no fear at all during a difficult challenge. They see heroes in movies and think they are never afraid of the danger. In real life, everyone feels fear when they face something new. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something else is more important than the fear you feel. In reality, courage is taking action even when you feel very afraid. It is moving forward while your hands are still shaking. Every person you admire has felt this way at some point. They simply decided to move their feet despite the noise in their heads. When you take action, the fear often begins to shrink. Action is the most powerful medicine for a worried and doubtful mind. Most successful people have failed many more times than they have succeeded. They view failure as a necessary part of the learning process. They do not see a mistake as a sign to stop. Instead, they see it as an invitation to try again with more knowledge. If you are not failing, you are likely not growing. Success is built on a very long road of small, corrected mistakes. Imagine that failure is actually a type of data or information. It tells you what does not work, so you can try something else. When a scientist does an experiment and it fails, they do not get angry. They simply write down the result and change their plan. If you treat your life like an experiment, failure becomes much less scary. It is just feedback on your current method. When a child learns to walk, they fall down many times. We do not call the child a failure. We say they are learning. We encourage them to get back up and try one more time. We smile because we know that falling is part of the journey to walking. You deserve that same kindness and patience from yourself. You are still learning how to navigate the challenges of your life. As adults, we often forget this very simple lesson from our childhood. We become too hard on ourselves when things go wrong. We expect to be perfect the first time we try something new. This expectation is not realistic, and it only causes stress. We must return to the mind of a child. We must allow ourselves to fall and then gently help ourselves get back up again. Every mistake is a lesson that makes you smarter and stronger. If you never fail, it means you are not challenging yourself enough. You are staying in the shallow water where it is safe but boring. To find greatness, you must be willing to go where the water is deep. Yes, you might struggle at first, but that struggle is exactly what builds the muscles you need to swim well. Changing how you see mistakes changes your whole life. You stop being a victim of your errors and become a student of them. Instead of saying, "Why did this happen to me?" you ask, "What can I learn from this?" This simple change in your language gives you power. It puts you in control of your future. You are no longer afraid of the road because you know how to learn. This mental shift reduces the power that the inner critic holds over you. You begin to see challenges as puzzles to be solved. When the critic says you failed, you can answer that you simply learned something new. This takes away the emotional pain of making a mistake. You become more curious and less defensive. Curiosity is a much better companion than fear on your journey towards success. Growth is not a straight line. It is a messy and winding path. Embracing the mess is the only way to reach the finish line. Some days you will take 2 steps forward, and some days you will take 1 step back. That is perfectly normal and expected. The goal is not to be perfect every day. The goal is to keep moving in the right direction despite the mess. Your brain is constantly changing based on your daily actions and thoughts. This amazing ability is known to scientists as neuroplasticity. It means that your brain is not a finished product. It is more like a garden that you can shape over time. You are not stuck with the personality or the fears you have today. You can literally grow new connections in your mind by practicing new habits. Think of your habits like paths in a thick forest. The more you walk on one path, the easier it is to follow. If you always walk the path of self-doubt, that trail becomes very clear and easy to see. Your brain likes to take the easiest path because it saves energy. However, just because a path is easy does not mean it is taking you where you want to go. If you always think negative thoughts, that path becomes very wide and deep. But you have the power to cut a new path today. It will be difficult at first because the grass is tall and the trees are thick. You might have to clear the way with a lot of effort. But if you walk the new path every day, it will slowly become easier to travel than the old one. Building self-trust does not require big, dramatic changes overnight. Instead, it happens through very small wins every single day. Many people try to change everything at once and then they give up. They set goals that are too large and feel overwhelmed. The secret to lasting change is to start small. You must prove to your brain that change is possible without causing too much fear or stress. A micro-habit is a task so small that it is almost impossible to fail. For example, reading just 1 page of a book every night, or walking for only 5 minutes after dinner. These tasks are so easy that your inner critic has nothing to say about them. Because they are easy, you are much more likely to do them consistently. Consistency is the key to building a new identity. When you finish that small task, you prove something very important to yourself. You prove that you are a person who keeps their promises. Self-doubt often comes from a history of broken promises to ourselves. We say we will do something, and then we don't. By choosing tiny tasks, we begin to repair the relationship we have with our own will. We start to believe our own words again. These small victories act like bricks in a very tall wall. One brick is not much by itself, but many bricks create a strong foundation. You cannot build a wall in a single day, but you can lay one brick perfectly. Focus only on the brick you are holding right now. Do not worry about the whole wall yet. Just do the small task in front of you with care and attention. Over time, these tiny actions change how you view your own identity. You start to see yourself as a capable and disciplined person. You no longer think of yourself as someone who gives up. Instead, you think, I am someone who gets things done. This shift in identity is the most powerful change you can make. When your identity changes, your behavior follows naturally without as much struggle. Consistency is the most important part of this building process. Doing a little bit every day is much better than doing a lot once a week. Your brain learns through repetition, not through intensity. If you practice a new thought once, nothing happens. If you practice it 1,000 times, it becomes your new reality. Repetition is the language that the brain speaks and understands best. Trusting yourself is the most valuable asset you can ever earn. It gives you the strength to face any difficult situation in life. When you trust yourself, you know that you can handle whatever happens. You might not know the answer right now, but you trust that you will find it. This inner peace comes from a long history of small successes. It is a quiet confidence that no one can take. Start by setting a goal that feels almost too easy to achieve today. Complete it, and then celebrate that small success for a moment. Do not move immediately to the next task. Take 5 seconds to feel proud of what you did. This positive emotion is what connects the habit to your brain. It signals that this behavior is good and should be repeated. Celebration is a vital part of growth. This positive feeling creates a chemical reward in your brain. It makes you want to repeat the action again tomorrow. This is how you use your brain's natural systems to work for you instead of against you. Instead of using willpower to force yourself, you're using the feeling of success to pull you forward. It makes the journey of self-improvement feel like a series of wins rather than a chore. Slowly, you can increase the difficulty of your daily tasks. Your confidence will grow at the same pace as your efforts. If you read 1 page easily for a week, try 2 pages next week. If you walk for 5 minutes, try 10. This gradual increase keeps the fear manageable. You are expanding your comfort zone slowly but surely. Each small step makes the next step feel possible. Do not rush the process of becoming a better version of yourself. True change takes time, patience, and a lot of daily practice. We live in a world that wants results immediately. But trees do not grow in a day, and neither do people. Respect the time it takes to build a new life. If you rush, you might fall. If you are patient, you will build something that lasts. You are training your mind to focus on progress rather than perfection. Perfection is an impossible goal that only leads to stress and failure. Progress is something you can achieve every single day. If you are 1% better than you were yesterday, you are winning. This focus on small improvements removes the heavy weight of expectations. It allows you to enjoy the process of becoming who you want to be. The people you spend time with have a huge impact on your confidence. They can either lift you up or pull you down very slowly. You often become a reflection of the 5 people you are closest to. If they are always complaining, you will likely start to complain too. If they are striving to grow, you will feel inspired to grow with them. Choose your social circle with great care. Look at your social circle with honest and clear eyes today. Do the people around you encourage your growth and your new ideas, or do they make jokes about your efforts to change? Sometimes the people we have known for a long time are the ones who want us to stay the same. They might feel uncomfortable when you start to improve. This is more about their fears than your potential. Surrounding yourself with positive people makes the journey much easier. You absorb their energy and their way of looking at the world. When you are having a difficult day, their belief in you can help carry you through. Seek out communities where people are working towards similar goals. It is much easier to swim when you are moving with the current instead of against it. Connection is fuel. Your physical environment also plays a role in your mental health. A clean and organized space can lead to a clear and calm mind. When our surroundings are messy, our thoughts often feel messy too. Take a few minutes to organize your desk or your room. This simple act of control can make you feel more capable. It is a physical way to show yourself that you deserve a good environment. Designing your environment means removing things that trigger self-doubt. This might mean following fewer negative accounts on social media. If looking at certain photos makes you feel bad about yourself, stop looking at them. You have the power to control what information enters your mind. Be a gatekeeper for your own peace. Only let in things that nourish your spirit and help you stay focused on your goals. It could also mean finding a quiet place where you can focus each day. Small changes in your surroundings lead to big changes in your focus. Maybe it is a specific chair or a park bench where you go to think. When you enter that space, your brain knows it is time to work or reflect. Creating these physical cues helped your mind enter the right state for growth and success. Seek out mentors and friends who have the qualities you want to develop. Listen to their stories and learn from their personal experiences. You can find mentors in books or online if you do not know them in person. Learning from the mistakes of others saves you a lot of time. It shows you that the path you are on has been walked before. You are not exploring an unknown land. You do not have to walk this difficult path all alone. Human connection is a powerful tool for building personal confidence and resilience. We were not meant to solve all our problems in isolation. Sharing your struggles with a trusted friend can make them feel much smaller. When you speak your fears out loud, they often lose their power. Connection reminds us that our experience is a shared human experience. When you help others, you often find that you help yourself too. It reminds you that you have something valuable to offer the world. Helping a friend or volunteering your time shifts your focus away from your own doubts. It proves that you are a person of value and action. The act of giving builds a sense of purpose. Purpose is one of the strongest foundations for a healthy self-esteem. Be careful about who you listen to when you share your early dreams. Protect your new ideas like a gardener protects a young and fragile plant. Not everyone deserves to hear your deepest goals before they are strong. Share them only with people who will help them grow. Some people might try to step on your dreams because they are afraid to have their own. Keep your fire protected until it is large. Many of us spend our lives waiting for someone else to say good job. We look for validation from our bosses, our parents, or our friends. We want them to tell us that we are smart, talented, or worthy. This habit starts when we are children, but it can limit us as adults. If you only feel good when others praise you, you are giving them control over your happiness. While praise feels good, it is a very unstable source of happiness. If people stop praising you, your confidence might disappear very quickly. People's opinions change for many reasons that have nothing to do with you. If you build your house on their words, the foundation will always be weak. You need a source of confidence that comes from inside you. You need a foundation that you control completely. Internal validation is the act of recognizing your own worth and effort. It is knowing you did your best even if no one else saw it. It is looking in the mirror and saying, I am proud of how I handled that challenge today. This is not about being arrogant or selfish. It is about being an honest judge of your own character and your own hard work every day. Practice gratitude every morning to change your focus and your mood. Write down 3 specific things you are thankful for in your life. They do not have to be big things. It could be a good cup of coffee or the way the light looks in the morning. Gratitude turns what we have into enough. It is a practice that keeps us grounded and reminds us of the beauty around us. This simple habit trains your brain to look for the good things in life. It shifts your perspective from what is missing to what is present. Our brains are very good at finding problems, but we must teach them to find opportunities too. When you focus on what is going well, you feel more capable of fixing what is going wrong. Gratitude is the enemy of self-pity and the friend of confidence. Replace negative self-talk with honest and realistic self-talk. Instead of saying, "I am bad at this," try saying, "I am currently learning this." This small change in words makes a big difference in how you feel. The first statement is a final judgment. The second statement is a description of a process. One closes the door while the other opens it. Use language that allows room for your own growth. Use words that describe your effort rather than your fixed traits. Focus on the work you put in rather than just the final result. Instead of saying, "I am smart," say, "I worked hard on this project." Fixed traits can be threatened by failure, but effort is something you can always control. By valuing your effort, you make your self-esteem more resilient. You become proud of your work ethic, which is lasting. Self-esteem is something you build through your own actions and your own choices. It is not something you are born with or something you find by luck. It is the result of keeping promises to yourself over a long period. Every time you do what you said you would do, your self-esteem grows a little bit. It is a slow and steady construction project. You are both the architect and the builder. Every time you choose the harder, better path, your self-respect grows deeper. You are showing yourself that your values actually matter more than your comfort. When you act with integrity, you feel a sense of internal peace. This peace is the true source of confidence. You do not need to prove anything to anyone else when you are proud of the person you see in the mirror every morning. You are becoming the hero of your own story by taking full control. This shift from external to internal power is truly life-changing for most people. You no longer wait for permission to be great or to follow your dreams. You give yourself permission to try, to fail, and to succeed. This independence is the ultimate goal of the journey. You are now the master of your own mental world. Greatness is not a final destination where you stop and rest forever. It is a way of living and a commitment to daily growth and learning. Many people think they will be happy when they reach a certain goal. But true fulfillment comes from the journey and the person you become along the way. Greatness is found in the small details of how you treat yourself and others every single day. Real success is the ability to look back and see how far you have come. It is remembering the person you used to be with kindness and understanding. You can see the old fears and the old doubts, but they no longer control you. You can appreciate the struggle because it made you who you are today. Your past was a training ground for the strength you have now. Think about the progress you have made during this long journey of self-discovery. The doubts you had at the very beginning are now much smaller and less powerful. You have faced the inner critic and learned to move forward anyway. You have built new habits and changed your environment for the better. These are major achievements that deserve your respect. You have shown yourself what is possible with persistence. You have learned that fear is just a feeling, not a solid wall. You have learned that action is the best cure for anxiety and doubt. When you look at a challenge now, you see an opportunity to practice your courage. You know that you might fail, but you also know that you can handle it. This knowledge is a shield that protects you from the world's many uncertainties and changes. Consistency is the quiet power that transforms lives over many years. It is showing up even on the days when you feel tired or uninspired. Most of the work of greatness is not exciting or loud. It is the boring, daily repetition of good habits and positive thoughts. If you can master the art of showing up, you can master anything. The compound effect of your efforts will eventually produce amazing results. Keep your vision clear and your goals close to your heart every day. The world needs people who are brave enough to be themselves and share their gifts. When you hold back out of fear, the world loses something valuable. Your unique perspective and your unique talents are needed by someone somewhere. Have the courage to be seen and heard. Your authenticity is your most powerful tool for connection and influence. Believing in yourself is the greatest gift you can give the world. When you are confident, you inspire others to be confident too. Your growth creates a ripple effect that touches everyone around you. people will see your change and start to wonder if they can change too. By helping yourself, you are indirectly helping many others. Your light gives others permission to shine their own lights more brightly. Your journey is unique, and it has its own perfect timing for everything. Do not compare your beginning to someone else's middle or end. Some plants grow fast, while others take years to bloom. Both are beautiful, and both have a place in the garden. Trust the pace of your own life. As long as you are moving forward, you are exactly where you need to be. Patience is a form of self-belief. Every day is a new opportunity to practice what you have learned here. The foundation is built, and now the future is wide open for you. You have the knowledge and the tools to handle the ups and downs. Life will still be challenging, but you are now a different person facing those challenges. You have shifted from a victim of doubt to a creator of your own destiny and future. Look toward the horizon with hope and a sense of deep inner peace. You have the tools you need to handle whatever comes next in your life. The shadow of the inner critic may still appear sometimes, but it cannot stop you anymore. You are standing in the light of your own self-belief. This is the new reality you have built for yourself. Take a deep breath and keep walking forward. Improving your life is very similar to learning a difficult new skill. It takes time, focus, and a lot of repeated practice to see progress. You must be willing to be a beginner many times in your life. This humility allows you to keep learning and keep growing as the world changes. Every new challenge is just another chance to improve. Stay curious and stay committed to your personal evolution. As you continue to work on your self-esteem, you will see real results. Your relationships will improve, your work will improve, and your health will improve. Your life will begin to reflect the changes you have made in your mind. This is the natural law of cause and effect. Change the inside, and the outside will eventually follow. You are the architect of your own experience, and the building is beautiful. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us today. Your commitment to your own personal growth is very impressive and inspiring. Many people talk about change, but very few take the time to listen and reflect like you. We hope these words have given you some strength and some new ideas to use. Remember that you have the power to create a life that you truly love and respect. Please like this video if you feel more motivated to move forward today. Your support helps us reach more people who might be struggling with self-doubt. Sharing these messages can make a difference in someone else's life. We are all in this together, and your support means a lot to our community. Let us know which part of the story resonated with you the most in the comments below. Stay focused on your path and keep believing in your own great potential. You have everything you need inside you to succeed and find peace. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and you have already taken many. We look forward to seeing you in our next story soon. Until then, take care of yourself and keep moving toward the light of your own belief.